All right, the latest coming in from The Hague right now is that Pakistan will play the alleged confessional statement of Kulbhushan Jadhav in the International Court of Justice. This is what we are getting in from the International Court of Justice. Our reporter is there picking up the latest. What we do know is the Pakistan delegation has now put up a video wall. Remember, while making his arguments, Harish Salve, the Indian representative, the Indian legal representative at the ICJ, had said that the tape was in fact doctored, and it seems that Pakistan is going to anchor their argument around the confessional statement, what they say has been given by Kulbhushan Jadhav. Meanwhile, sources from the government have confirmed that Pakistan will contest the case primarily focused on the Vienna Convention findings, as that is the primary contention from India's side. Pakistan's first excuse will be that the current case of Kulbhushan Jadhav is related to terrorism, which does not come under the Vienna Convention. Second, Pakistan is likely to say that the case can only be taken forward after mutual consent from both parties, which has not been practiced in this case. And finally, the last excuse will be that both countries are members of the Commonwealth and cannot contend a case against each other in the ICJ. All right, the coverage of India today is been fronted by Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant, who spoke to the Indian representative to The Hague, Harish Salve.
They say, a healthy mind in a healthy body. We saw Harish Salve's healthy mind at the International Court of Justice. He is with me here at the gym for the healthy body. Mr. Salve, we saw the healthy mind in court. Now it's the healthy body you're working on? Okay, so the gym speed is pretty good. He's on the treadmill. How long are you on the treadmill today? 1 hour, non-stop. Excellent. Does that help you in a court of law? How?
Cleans your head up.
Absolutely.
Stress buster.
This is a stress buster. Were you stressed at any point of time?
Always. It's a big responsibility.
It is. To save a human being's life.
Always.
How confident are we that, our points are getting across to the 11-member international community at the ICJ?
I think they did.
Does Pakistan have a case anyways?
That I'll tell you at 4:30.
So, Mr. Salve, Pakistan is in violation of the Vienna Convention. You proved that in a court of law. You proved from past instances. Now, the judiciary goes by past instances, sir?
Yeah, precedents.
They'll go by precedents. And we have a strong case.
I hope so.
And so, which means, God willing, we will save Kulbhushan Jadhav from the gallows.
I'll tell you more at 4:30.
So what we see Mr. Harish Salve do at this point of time is exercise. Exercise, he'll be back 1 hour at the treadmill, then he'll be back. You'll also be countering Pakistan's contention. No.
That's not the style.
Okay. So now we'll only hear Pakistan and...
This is for provisional measures. You've heard our case. We have the Pakistan's case. Take a view.
And how soon can we expect a verdict?
Pretty soon.
Tentatively, a time frame? Couple of weeks. Mr. Salve, as always, many thanks for speaking to India today. So 1 hour at the treadmill, then back at the International Court of Justice at The Hague. Gaurav Sawant at The Hague for India Today.
All right, so about in 20 minutes, we are expecting the Pakistan legal counterpart to put up their arguments at the International Court of Justice. We'll be cutting across live to that. But before that, let me move in to our guest panel there. We have Commodore G.J. Singh, who's joining us from the national capital. We also have my colleague Hamza, who's getting us the latest on how this hearing is being perceived across the border, Islamabad. We'll soon be joined by Gaurav Sawant, our executive editor, who's fronting this news coverage for India Today at The Hague. Commodore, I want to come to you first, sir. The latest coming in from the International Court of Justice is that the Pakistan delegation has put up this massive screen at the International Court of Justice on which they are going to relay what they say is the confessional statement of Kulbhushan Jadhav. It seems they are going to anchor their entire argument on that confessional statement. Now, you've been somebody who's been in the forces. You know exactly how these confessional statements can be extracted.
You see, first of all, let me make it very clear that the credibility is absent from every claim of Pakistan, whether it is a confession or it may be a video, because they have not given access to the counsel, access to the accused. So this is something which is very important, and it is time now, after our Harish Salve has put up a strong defense. He has brought out all the points in a very lucid manner, presented, argued very well. The ICJ needs to assert its jurisdiction, because they have got the jurisdiction to the consular access. They should force Pakistan that the consular access must be given. Now, coming on to your question, it is very easy to take any kind of confession from anyone once he or she is in a military custody. Any kind of force, third degree, even third degree force can be applied on these people, and you can make a video of your own choice. But let me tell you, as you rightly pointed out, the video which Pakistan has earlier shown, and we had seen it on our television screens, is a very poor production, because there were a lot of flaws. There were a series of flaws in which we could make out that he is reading from his screen. He is reading from the teleprompter. So therefore, the video does not hold any ground, and Pakistan now needs to abide by the Vienna Convention in spirit and word. This is very important, because the whole thing revolves around the will of Pakistan about its what I call its civilized behavior, because still now Pakistan has not shown an iota of a civilized behavior. Pakistan needs to conduct itself now as per the international norms, in a conduct itself in a good manner, in a dignified manner, so that people get convinced that yes, Pakistan has got some substance and substance to its claims. So otherwise, Pakistan is continuously climbing a wrong tree by saying that they have got a video, a confession. It does not hold any water.
And that video as well, Commodore, that video that they proposed to play today, Commodore, also has multiple cuts in that, going on to bolster the argument laid down by Harish Salve today that the video is doctored. Commodore, I'm going to bring in Hamza Amir, my colleague, who's tracking the developments back in Islamabad very closely, because both countries are watching the developments at The Hague. Hamza, if you're with me, the latest coming in is, it seems that the Pakistan wants to build its defense on two issues. One, the confessional statement of Jadhav there, which they allege is true. And second, they're going to use diversionary tactics, talk about terrorism, bring in Balochistan and Kashmir. Is that true?
Yes, government sources are saying that yes, this is the way forward for Pakistan. After hearing, the Indian side of contention, Pakistan has now actually reassessed their strategy, because now Vienna Convention is going to be the prime focus, and that is the focus only for the fact that Pakistan is going to justify the fact that Kulbhushan Jadhav was not caught only on spying charges, but also he was involved in terror attacks inside Pakistan's different cities across Pakistan, and that is why he was tried under terrorism charges, which does not come under the Vienna Convention. So any allegation coming from Indian side related to that references can be actually nullified. That is one. That is why the video confessional statement, I think, is also going to be played during Pakistan's proceedings and their case when it is actually read out to the International Court of Justice. That is one. Secondly, Pakistan aims at not only mentioning and notifying the International Court of Justice regarding a declaration that was sent ahead by Pakistan to the International Court of Justice during March 2017, in which ICJ has got no jurisdiction or is going to have no say on issues and cases related to Pakistan's national interests, in which Pakistan relates to Kulbhushan Jadhav as well, that this was an issue of national interest, so ICJ cannot have any questions or any say on that to ask Pakistan. That is two. Number three, Pakistan is going to take the case forward forcefully, as they say, and it is going to mention Kashmir, it is going to mention the line of control, It is going to mention as what they call terrorism being thrown into Pakistan from Afghanistan through Indian influence, through terror groups. So that is something that Pakistan's point of contention and way forward towards that strategized response to India's contention is going to be.
All right. So the fact that Pakistan is going to add the terror charge where Kulbhushan Jadhav is concerned, other than just espionage, and of course that doesn't fall under the Vienna Convention. They want to work on that front. All right. In just about 20 minutes, we're going to be cutting live to The Hague at the International Court of Justice, where we would hear the Pakistan legal counterpart make their argument, a 90-minute argument on why Kulbhushan Jadhav's hanging must go on. Well, we have right now Commodore J.J. Singh. He's joining us live from the national capital. We also have my colleague Hamza Amir picking up the latest from across the border. Both countries keenly watching the developments taking place. I believe also on the phone line we have Khawar Qureshi. He's of legal opinion. He's a lawyer, I believe, from Pakistan. He's on the phone line with us. Mr. Chaudhary, let me come to you. Now, of course, the latest two issues that Pakistan will build their argument on. One, what Pakistan suggests is the confessional statement of Kulbhushan Jadhav. Second, they're bringing in the terror angle as well to counter the Vienna Treaty argument put forth by India.
Well, this whole case is about espionage and terrorism, and Pakistan has a very clear case that Vienna Convention does not cover the cases of espionage and terrorism. And we know that Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav was arrested in Balochistan.
No, but we don't know that. We don't know that.
And we know.
But Mr. Chaudhary, we don't know that. No, that has not been established. We don't know that he was arrested in Pakistan. What are the odds that he wasn't? What are the odds that he wasn't picked up from Iran? It's a
Balochistan and in Karachi, and so 36-2 excludes Mr. Jadhav's case from Vienna and ICJ.
Commodore J.J. Singh, do you want to come in on this? Commodore?
Yeah, I just want to tell Fahad Chaudhary that first of all, he must be very clear that we don't know the Jadhav's version of the proceeding, the Jadhav's version as to what he has to say. In the absence of that, it is absolutely opaque. It is absolutely in the dark. The proceedings, for all you know, it may be just paper court-martial. A court-martial actually has never been held on the ground. They have simply, carried out a summary trial on the paper and said, well, he is accused. And moreover, if they have appointed a general, the general is not conversant with the nuances of the percept and concepts of justice. It's a judiciary system. It is absolutely a different domain than military domain.
Right.
You see, Justice
and
Department
this entire,
is a pillar by itself for any democracy.
Right, and Commodore, this entire military trial has been called farcical today by our legal expert Harish Salve, who is fronting the government at the ICJ. Mr. Fawad, two quick questions, sir. Your country hasn't allowed us consular access. 16 times over we've asked for it. Secondly, they haven't even given us the charge sheet. And thirdly, sir, let me just also add, what makes anyone so sure that the video that you are going to beam at the ICJ in the next 20 minutes is not doctored?
Well, frankly, this is for the ICJ to decide and not for you and me to decide. What I think what Pakistani counsel will be relying upon is interpretation of Article 36, subsection 2, that says that espionage and terrorist activities are not covered. So,
but that is not what India. One second, sir. But that new ICJ declaration by Pakistan on jurisdiction, that new declaration will not hold because we have approached the ICJ on a completely different article that you are quoting.
No, it's the Vienna Convention you are quoting. What else? You have something new from the sun? Obviously, you have to quote from the Vienna Convention and the treaties between India and Pakistan. And right now, the situation is that espionage and terrorism is not covered by those. And why Mr. Jadhav is, espionage is a very serious business. So when you are involved in espionage, try not to get arrested. Once you get arrested, it's a serious business. So if you have been arrested on a Pakistani soil while conspiring against Pakistani people,
Commodore, Commodore J.J. Singh, do you want to come in on that? Because, Fawad Chaudhary there is saying that Pakistan's new ICJ declaration on jurisdiction on Article 36(2) is what he's quoting, will of course come into play. Of course, this declaration was filed on the 29th of March, just days before. This ICJ hearing is another matter, sir.
You see, he has to understand this is Article 36 of the Vienna Convention is the one which is based on a timeless truth that it is referring to the elementary human right of giving your side of the story. Let me put it in simple words.
Yes.
You see, it is every human right, everyone's human right that he should be given a fair chance to explain and to tell his side of the story. Now, what we know is that it is absolutely denied to Yadav. Had there been even a single consular access to him,
right,
we would have believed it that he is, he has been heard. But out here, he is being denied on a timeless truth. The timeless truth says that before you snuff out the life of another individual, before you extinguish another person on a death row, you have to give him access, so that he tells his story to his own people. But out here it has been denied. I am explaining the whole thing in very simple words. They are not legal terms. So therefore, Mr. Chaudhary has to understand that every argument that Pakistan is making has no credibility, because it is lacking basic human right, because that is something which is enshrined almost in every religious book of the world.
Mr. Chaudhary, Commodore there has made it very clear. Cut the legal jargon that you are quoting, sir. Ultimately, it's about violation of the Vienna Convention, and secondly, it's about human rights on somebody who's on death row.
Well, human rights are also of those who he killed during this stay in Pakistan. They were also human, and they have the fundamental right to live, which he violated, and he involved himself in activities of terrorism, and he killed people here in Pakistan. So,
where has that been established? Where is the side of Kulbhushan Jadhav? We don't even have the charge sheet.
Of course, these are charges on him. These are the charges read out to him in the federal court.
Read out to him. Where is the consular access? Where is his point? You put out a doctored video. You don't give us consular access. Where is Kulbhushan Jadhav's point of view in all of this?
To the normal visitors, to the normal people who come to Pakistan on a regular visas, you don't expect consular access for those who come to Pakistan for terrorism. So terrorists are excluded from
Mr. Chaudhary, that is your claim. For us, Kulbhushan Jadhav is an innocent man until proven guilty. And the farcical trial that the military court in your country conducted was laid bare today by our legal counsel, sir. Anyway, we'll continue.